It's the middle of March and this compost is now about 1.5 foot from the top. I suppose it must be about 4 foot high in all, and my plan is to grow some things in the top of it. All it's had in it really is just vegetable waste and spent chicken straw, and that's about it. There's been no grass or anything like that. It's just kitchen waste and chicken waste and straw and a bit of wood shavings. So obviously, because it's high up, my thinking is to try and get a reservoir of water on the top of this layer, but not right the way across, so there's just little patches where the water will collect so it doesn't get too boggy. And I'm going to possibly put sides on it as well to keep the soil that I'm going to grow the plants in moist. So I've just put bits around the edge, bits of wood, not particularly cut to size. This bit is a bit short up here. And I've put the reservoirs on the outside of the compost heap, because inside this bit I'm thinking is probably going to keep fairly nice and moist, whereas the outsides towards the edges of the compost are going to get drier. So I built it up 2 layers just with bits of wood, and the stuff I'm putting in it is some compost that we got from the church. I put green tie. It's supposed to be up to 10 years old and it's lovely stuff. It's just leaf mould really. And on top of that I'm going to put some other rotted compost. So we'll see how that goes. Well, that's it now. That's the compost heap. And then we've got probably maybe 8 to 10 inches worth of composted leaf mould and last year's compost. I haven't decided what I'm going to grow in here yet, but I'll probably start with some pots first. See how we go. Well, it's a beautiful evening here, and we're back in the compost. It's about the middle of April, and I've just sown some pelleted carrot seeds. I've also been growing some lettuce in here, which I didn't start from seed. I did buy these as young plants, but they've been here for the last few weeks. It'll be interesting to see how those carrots go. Absolutely lovely evening here. I've wrapped the top section, which is exposed to the air, with cling film, and as a support I found a little old kiddie's gold, which I just painted green and taken obviously the netting off, the goalkeeper's goal. It's quite a small thing, and I'm using that as the support, and over the top I've just put some fleece, which hopefully with the cling film will keep that nice and cosy if we have a frost. I put 2 rows of lettuce in there, and I've already eaten 1 row to make room for the carrots, although they don't look as though many have been able to survive, whether that's because of slugs or just bad germination. So I'm going to make the use of the space and continue to plant things in there and just let them grow alongside the carrots and the lettuce. This is an update of the compost that I was planting earlier this year. It's been quite a success. The carrots didn't do particularly well, and in fact I haven't even harvested them yet. There's some in here. But other things like beetroot, we've had some pickings of beetroot, and I've also put a kale in, and there's a courgette plant in there, so I should be picking the beetroot out soon to make way for the other things that need to really grow on. The level of the compost has dropped again, and so we are down to about here. I think where the wood is the top of the earth, so that has now dropped to about half the height of the metal. And it's difficult because obviously the plants are struggling to, well, they're not struggling because it's clear in there, but you know, they are contained, whereas if I had the opportunity to take a top section off, they'd have a little bit more room. So that's a project that I probably will be working on next year, to make composts that are actually broken down into sections. So as the level of the earth drops with the plants in them, then sections can be taken away and then placed on the ground for the new compost that's in the process of being made. It's the beginning of November 2016, and this is the end of that compost experiment. We started growing in the top of it. It was quite high again, and you can see how much the level has gone down. So it's probably, I don't know, 30 centimetres high now. It did work fairly well, but the things that I didn't like about it were the sides were too open. The wood that I put in on the inside tended to just move all over the place as the soil level dropped. At the beginning of the season the plants grew very well, so you were going to do like short growing things like lettuces, radishes. That would have worked very well in here, but as the level dropped, the plants in there, I had courgettes and beetroot. They just got very, very overcrowded, and there wasn't anywhere for them to go, i.e. spreading outwards. They could only go up. So now I've got to the bottom of this compost, and you know, ideally it'd be lovely to be growing in this again, but it's a bit too deep to grow anything in, and it's not easy to get the soil out, so I'm going to have to pull it all up to get all the soil out. So although I probably would put the wire as a topping for a compost heap, i.e. before you actually put the plants in, I definitely wouldn't do the whole thing as wire again, because it's going to be difficult for me to get all this earth out, and I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to be moving earth about at all.